I'm standing here in Lumbridge Square with coins to spare and love to share. Typing fast, my heart's on fire. Buying GF, it's my one desire.
If you're anything like me, you've played RuneScape on and off for the last 20 plus years, but for whatever reason, you just haven't gotten into bossing yet. This video here is going to be a little bit about my journey, learning how to boss, learning how to figure out how moons work, and the rotations that I use to make it finally click in my brain. To get started, let's take a look at some of the requirements you need in order to even attempt the moon bosses. To start off with, you need to complete the Perilous Moons quest. At the end of this quest, you'll actually do your first run through all 3 of the bosses. According to the Wiki page, it suggests at least 70 plus in strength, attack, defense, 75 plus in health, and 34 plus for prayer. To be completely transparent, I didn't start doing this until I was a little over 80 in all 3 of those. Other helpful levels, but not necessarily required, is level 70 plus to have the piety prayer, which I do use, and it does make a big difference, but I also did it before I unlocked that skill as well. Next, we'll take a look at what gear options might be available to you and what might work best for your current level and progression in the game. This chart also appears on the wiki. It shows what gear you could use from the best on the left all the way to the worst on the right-hand side. This is the current setup that I use when I go into the fight. I have Torog's Helm, Plate Body, Plate Legs, Dragon Defender, Rada's Blessing 2, Fury Amulet, Berserker Ring, Burrow's Gloves, and the Abyssal Dagger. I also have 2 other weapons that I use when we're in the fights, depending on which boss we're fighting, but we'll get into that in just a little bit here. Now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the weapons you can use to do the most damage. This will show all the weapons you can use against the various bosses. The ones that do the most damage are on the left, and the ones that do the least are on the right. The bottom row shows what weapons you can use for a special attack to do damage, and then switch back to the normal weapons after that. A couple quick things to keep in mind before you actually go in and try this fight. First of all, if you die, you will drop your items, but you can get them back really quickly. All you need to do is make sure that you have some calcified moths as you use them, and it's a 1-click teleport right outside of the main room where we start. And finally, we have the fight. Alright, this is going to be a full run how I normally go through this. So as you step into the room here, I usually go right over here to the left, to this blue room first. This is where I'll get all my supplies for the run. I've got my dual Matchul Fatal, I don't know how to say that, and my whip, as well as the other gear that I told you I was going to bring. Usually I'll just right click here and hit click make a cuppa because it refills your run energy. So whenever I walk by one of these, I just do that for free. Refills my stamina, my run energy, so I can just keep going as quickly as possible through the whole thing. Once we get down here, we'll make a few potions. I usually can go through 2 to 3 times per supply fill up that I make, so I'll usually make 6 potions so that I can go through 3 times without having to stop and go again. Make sure they're all 4 doses, so I might need to take a couple more sometimes. So yeah, you just right click here, grab herblore supplies, which do pestle and mortal, pestle and mortar, as well as some vials of water. And then you use the worms on the pestle. Then you use the powder on the jars, just like you're making any other potion. And there you go. So we've got 4, 4, 4, 4. Nice, they all came out of 4. Depending on your herblore level, you might get 4 doses, you might get 3 doses. There's 6 of those, so now the next thing to do is grab hunting supplies. And it's kind of complicated, but generally speaking, the lizards will be better food than fish most of the time, depending on your account. It's based on your hunter level, your cooking level, and your fishing level. I don't really fully understand how it all works. Maybe someone can leave an explanation in the comments how that works, for those of you that want to know. But I figured out that, generally speaking, the lizards are normally better food than the fish for this fight. So I usually go through and cook the rope through here, 2 or 3 times, and then cook these lizards up after that. Just click on the bush to rustle it, and the lizard will pop out here. Sometimes it'll be 2, sometimes it'll be 3, just kind of depends on your luck, I guess. 6, 9, 12. Alright, they usually give you 3 food per lizard. At least with my cooking level they do. I think that scales a little bit with cooking level also. I'm level 87 cooking at the moment. So then when I have enough, I'll drop the butterfly net. So the butterfly net, before I drop it, you can catch these little moonlight moths if you have, I believe it's 75 hunter. It showed earlier on the screen on the Wiki page, but they'll just refill your prayer. But so do these potions. These potions give you attack, defense, and strength, and they refill your prayer. So mostly I just use them as a prayer potion and a little bit of a boost to attack. So then I'll drop my butterfly net and my rope, and I'll come over here and cook the lizard, so I've got enough room for all of them. Alright, well, I was 1 short, but that's perfect because when I put this weapon on, I need 2 spaces for my defender to come out. So with this first boss, as we showed earlier, he's weak to this dual weapon. So what I'm going to do is go in right from there, I go straight across. This is how I start my rotation here. Go in here to do it, and I'll hit him with the special attack of the missile dagger as many times as I can right here. Then I'll flip to this attack, this dual weapon, and then it'll do a lot of damage to him then. There. Really quickly before we get into here, I'll just explain the ways that these special attacks work in this next fight. So, one of the special attacks that this boss does is one where tornadoes will kind of start flying through the room, and then you need to run to either side of the room to light the fires again. They're right here and right here. And if you don't, he just heals like 100 life, but if you do, it just keeps him from healing as much. This is another special fight that he's doing right now where there's icebergs that will show up, and your weapon will get stuck in ice. And you have to go click on it, kick it, or punch it, and then avoid the attacks to get your weapon back. So as soon as this is done, we'll jump in and I'll show you how this fight goes. So normally, like I said, I'll drink 1 of these, give myself a stat boost, and then I'll get prayer ready. So quickly go in here, turn on piety if you have it, and then I'll special attack. You have to stand in the little lit up area where you get a lot of damage. So I'll just do that special attack as many times as I can here. Lit up squares. And alright, there's the first special attack he has. So if you get hit by the tornadoes, they do a tiny bit of damage, but they also turn your run off. So you have to turn run back on if you get hit. I usually honestly don't really care too much, I just kind of run straight back and forth. If I get hit, I get hit. I don't know, it may not be the most efficient way, but it's what's worked for me, so I just kind of do it, and then I come back over here. So now you just have to wait for him to go back to the normal attack phase here. This is one of the first or second times I've tried doing this fight while explaining what I'm doing, so if I'm a little stumbling with my words or something, I apologize. Then we go to this, and this just starts wrecking. This weapon here. 11. So as long as you click the next light up area, you're usually okay. I'll keep some food here. Keep prayer up. Right now, I'm only using piety because the overhead prayers are melee, protection from defense, protection from range, magic. None of those work with this guy because you can't use them in this fight. So that's why piety is a good one to have. It gives you a bonus to defense, attack, and it just makes the fight go just a little quicker. But as I said before, I was doing this boss before I had piety unlocked, so it was good. Alright, so just a few more hits and we'll be done. And just like that, turn piety off, social prayer, and the first fight is done. That was the blue moon. So normally what I do next, the rotation I use, I again just do this. I usually don't need it probably here, but I'll just go straight through here, and it ticks off what you have done. So I'll go to the blood moon next, straight across here, and right here, this room right here, goes right into the Blood Moon fight, so that's really quick. You just go right to it, which is really nice. So I usually just make sure my prayer's close to full here. So I'll stop and explain these rotations for his special attacks here really quick too. So the one that you just saw there was one where there'll be Jaguars that'll show up, and then there'll be like a Blood Rain spot behind it. So the way you do that is you attack the you have to stand on the spot that has the lit up moon or sun, just like the other fight. And then you attack the Jaguar, and then when the Blood Moon spot behind you gets to its full circle and makes a little noise, that's when it's safe to walk on it. So you click on that, then you click on the Jaguar, you click on that, on the Jaguar, and you do that a few times until the Jaguar dies. This next special is called the Blood Rain special attack. Basically, you just stand there until a blood spot shows up underneath you, and then you just walk, you know, one square around. You just try to stay off of the Blood Rain. Other than that, it's the same type of deal. You go through the rotation. As it lights up, you hit the boss. This time he's weak against the whip, so again I'll put my dagger back on so I have a special attack ready. I'll do the specials until I'm out, and then I'll switch to the whip, and we'll continue to fight in that way. So there's a special. Another special. Alright, so I'll flip to the whip for the Jaguar though. Here we go. Hit, and then right as that noise ends, stand back. And the purple is healing, so you heal a little bit with the Jaguar. Living here at that noise, right? There. So this is going to save you back so you won't hurt. That should be it. Alright, go back to attacking. This one heals a little bit too when it hits you, so sometimes it can be a little bit longer fight, but I haven't had any trouble with it since I learned how to do it and learned the strategies that I figured out. This fight may not be as efficient or perfect as some of the guides or some of the videos out there, but this is just kind of how it works with my brain. So right here, there's one spot underneath, so I step one away. Step one away. Step one away. Sometimes you can just stand in the same spot the entire time. It just depends on if you get lucky or not. Alright, so I'm going to go right back here, right back to the fight. Keep my prayer up. And he's almost down, so just go to the next sun. Keep going. Nearly got him. Get a full in the Jaguar face. Oh, that was big. Alright, nope, 3 more Jaguar. Alright, so hit him. Back. A little food there. We got hit. Yeah, I'm not doing this one quite as perfect as before. But there we go. One more hit. Yeah. Alright, back to the sun, hit him. So really just kind of monitor your prayer. I really like these bars. They really help visually to just see where my health is. Versus trying to look at up here or the number in this bar. It's a plugin that I installed that I really like. And that should be it. There we go. Wait, one more. Oh, come on. Alright, well, one more Blood Rain, I guess, so we can finish them off. So I just stand here until it pops up underneath me. Biggest thing I learned from the first time I did this fight to now is just being calm, because once you're confident and know what the mechanics are, it just is so much easier. The first time I was running around chaotic, I didn't do very well. Alright. So that's the second boss down. So from here, what I usually do is I usually make sure I have a little bit of prayer here. I get my run energy up, which I don't need, I guess I'm full, but that's alright. Then I put protection from melee on, and then I run past these guys to go into the third one. This is my loop here. Go through here, and can you guys still hear me? Okay, looks like my headset died, but you guys can still hear me because the microphone's moving, so that's okay. Alright, so I go through here. And we go up here, take protection from melee off now, run through this passageway, and this will take you back into the main room that we started out in. So just come in here to the middle and go diagonally across. One little tip here also, red, that means it's the blood moon. Blue up here means it's the blue moon. And yellow over here means it's the path towards the eclipse, which is the other fight. Just as a heads up, after about the 5th or 6th fight, I finally noticed that. So then I'll keep running through here. If you have 83 Hunter, I believe, you can grab those little moths to heal your prayer more, and fill it up as you go through. I do not have that level yet, so I can only grab them with the butterfly net. But I usually go up and grab the cuppa here, grab the cup of tea. Then, once we have that, we'll head over here to the eclipse boss. Alright, we got that. And there's the door right here. Just go over the bridge, through this door, through this entrance, and this will be the eclipse boss, which is the last of the 3 here, this rotation around. So, right here there's two different phases for their special attacks, which took me a little bit to kind of get down. One of them, he'll pull you into the middle, and you're frozen right here, and he'll show up in different spots. And what you have to do is you click on the yellow dot. Click on the dot that appears, and you click it as fast as you can, and it hits him, and then you don't take damage. The other one is a shield that pops up over here, or wherever, and then you stand behind it and you walk in a straight line. You try to stay behind the shield, and then you won't take damage when you do it right. So we will see those in just a minute. For this boss, he's straight dagger. That's what he's weak against. So we'll fight, turn on piety, and we'll go for it. Oh, alright, so this is the special I was talking about. So here for me, until I learn to click on the dot, I don't necessarily have to click on the dot, but for me it helps me make sure I hit it, and I don't click on the wrong spot. Click them as fast as you can, you do damage when you hit it, and then you don't take damage if you click it fast. Yeah, this one took me a while to really understand. I don't really know why. It's just in my mind. I think I was looking at the size. I clicked on the orange dot and the yellow one. But once I finally did it, I was like, the dot hit, and it was on. I really done it again. Close it again. See all our specials here. So we'll lit up sun here. Already almost down. Probably have a shield coming out in a minute. Yes, there we go. So knock you behind the shield. Right behind this ball. Look at the shield. And then you want to go walk a bit. Jump a bit. It goes at your walk speed. So some people like to just walk. I don't know why that's going to work for me. So I just do it this way. I just kind of take a little late. And I run it. And I'm running close enough to not get hit most of the time. Right? I think I said there. Alright, let me go all the way around, and then we'll go back to the damaging phase again. And just look what this guy actually. Slide this down. Oh, there it is. Alright. So then the fight's done, you got all 3 bosses done. So this is how I complete my loop. Bring you back out here again. So then I'll just walk across the same bridge that we used to go into the fight. But if you go back here, it is actually the chest room. You click this. How crazy would it be if I got something nuts while recording this? That would be pretty cool. Be pretty awesome, pretty perfect moment for the video here. Let's see what happens. Open the chest. And didn't get anything unique. That's okay. So then you get your rewards. Another kind of nice thing is I didn't notice this the first time I got the chest. I just hit take all, but you can actually hit it right here and hit bank all. So all the stuff in here will go straight to your bank. And then this is how I go back and like continue my loop. So then I go back out through this door. And like I said, I can usually get 2, I can always get 2, sometimes 3 runs with that amount of supplies, depending on how lucky I get. Sometimes I get hit a little harder in the blood moon fight. You know, then maybe I'll have to restock after 2, but I can always get 2, usually, no, I can always get 2, most of the time I can get 3. So you go through this door back here, instead of turning left like we came in, you go through this tunnel, and it actually takes us right back here to the food preparation area, where we can get potions, we can get food and everything. And then, if you need to, you can come back and redo your food. If you have to refill your supplies every run through, there's no shame in that. I had to do that in the beginning. It took me a while to be able to get the fight down where I need to restock every time. But if you already have food and you're good, you just go right here, click back in here, and you just continue the loop, and then you go through it again 2 or 3 times, and that's the way I kind of figured out that works really well for me, and that's how I've been doing it. I've been doing 2 or 3 fills per group of supplies here. And the more you can go through it before restocking your food, the faster you go through it, the faster you get chances of chests, you know, just speeds up the whole process. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that it helps. I hope you found some things that might increase your efficiency or your ability to do these runs in the future. If there's anything I missed, if there's anything I could be doing better, please let me know in the comments. I'm still learning as well. Still new to bossing, just thought it'd be fun to start making some of these guides, and I hope that you are all having a great day.
Train me quick, don't be shy. I'll give you lobsters, we'll give it a try.